So in this lesson, we're going to continue on with blues riffs, and we're going to introduce you to a new concept whereby we are playing a riff that implies both minor and major tonalities. Now, in blues, this is quite a common thing that you will see. Maybe the backing music, the accompanying music is in a major key, but the guitar player will play using minor scales, using minor pentatonics. Now, that shouldn't work. When they land on the note that makes the scale minor in relationship to the chord, the minor third, what often they do is they will bend it either slightly sharp by a quarter tone to sort of imply major tonality, or they will bend by a full semitone, or even slide or hammer on up to the next note, raising the minor third by a semitone to a major third. So you kind of get this tense sound and then release. And tension and release is quite a common tool used in blues. Now, we can trace back that kind of minor to major switch over a chord all the way back to Johnny Be Good. It's featured during that sort of classic introduction piece that Chuck Berry played. So what we're going to be doing in this riff is we're going to be basing around the E5 chord. We're going to play it twice. Again, we're using our swing rhythms to make sure that the first downstroke lasts slightly longer than the second downstroke. Okay, then we're going to play the third fret of the E. Now that note is in relationship to the E5 power chord. If we add that, it makes a minor chord. It makes an E minor. But we're going to raise up to the fourth fret. And that note, if I play that against the E5 power chord, that results in a major chord. So minor, major. Sounds a little bit clearer if I go. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're going from a minor third to a major third. You don't really need to know this theory, but it's just kind of a cool thing for you to be able to do. And it works well over a major blues chord progression. So you're going to play two downstrokes on the E5, then the third fret E to the fourth fret, then back to E5. And then we're going to add our third finger on the A string to play the E6th chord. Okay, one more time. E5, minor to major, E5, E6th. Okay, put that together. It's a really cool riff, and you'll hear Stevie Ray Vaughan playing riffs similar to that or within that vein. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to drop our hand down onto the next group of strings, and we're going to play the same thing in A. So we'll play the A5, then we're going to play 3 up to 4 on the A. That's minor to major against the A5. A5 twice. Okay, put that together. Okay, once again, using that swing rhythm. When you're playing this riff as well, I'm holding the chord, either when I'm playing it in E or A. When I'm adding the minor to major notes on the low E string, that minor third to major third, I'm not striking the whole chord like that. I think that sounds a bit messy. I'm separating, but my hand is still sort of in place. So if the chord does ring out, it doesn't really matter, but try to play the notes, though, that kind of minor third to major third figure on either the E or the A string, depending on what chord you're playing over. Try to separate that from the chord. So E5 one more time, the E5 riff. Now up to A5 and play our minor to major riff. Okay, then up to B5, and once again we're going to play the inverted power chord of B, so we're just playing the D and the G strings. just to make it easier for you so you don't have to hold a bar chord and then change position. So the D and the G strings, and then you're going to play 5 up to 6 on the A. That's the minor third to major third of B. And then you're going to play the B5 inverted power chord. And then add your third finger on the 6th fret of the D to give you a B6 chord. So it's exactly the same move that you've been playing when you were playing the A5 or the E5, except we're not playing a low root note. We're only playing, when we play the chord portion, we just play 2 strings. Just to, you know, as I said, otherwise we've got to try and bring a root note either in on the A string or on the E string. And it is possible to do, but at this stage, let's just keep it a little bit more straightforward. So let's have a look at that B minor to major riff based around that B5 power chord. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that new riff, I'm going to play it in E, A and B, and we're just going to play it for 2 bars on each chord. So E5 with the riff based around that for 2 bars, A5 and then B5. Here we go. 3, 4. Now, when you practice this riff, you're going to be practicing it against the 12-bar blues. So make sure that you've learnt the order of the chords of the 12-bar blues, that sequence of chords, how long we play each chord for. But something that you're going to have to watch out with this riff is a 1-bar riff. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now, that's going to cause a little bit of an issue when we get to our turnaround bar. So you'll go from that bar of B5. Now, when we play the E5 to A5 before we resolve into the final B5 bar, we're only going to play E5 and A5 for 2 beats of the bar. So what you'll do is you'll just play the first portion of the riff. So... So I'm just going to demonstrate that for you. I'm just going to play through the blues just so you can see how it all fits together over the 12-bar sequence, and then it's going to be your turn to play through it. Don't worry if you're looking at this thinking, oh, there's a lot going on. You are going to get the tab in a moment that you'll be able to study before practicing. So let's just check it out so you can see how all the riffs fit together in our 12-bar sequence. 3, 4. So now it's your turn to play our minor to major blues riff. You're going to practice it over each of the chords we're playing. So E5, A5 and B5, and then you're going to put it together and practice through the 12-bar blues sequence using this new riff.